prepare yourself, because what you create next might just reshape the future. The void was empty once, but not anymore. This is how to make and animate 3D characters with AI. So I'll start with Meshy AI. Let's jump right in and create our first 3D model. We'll create it from an image I generated in ChatGPT using DALL-E. The model is a Dulgani, a half giant in my fantasy world of Pryedge. So it creates 4 variations, and they're honestly pretty sick, so I went ahead and I wanted to texture one. So let's just pick one out of the 4 that are here, and we'll go from there. Okay, so this is the one I textured. It looks awesome. Plus, with all the things that I was able to do with Meshy in this video, I only used half the credits of Meshy, so I really recommend Meshy. Okay, so let's jump into Rodin. This is a Hyper 3D SaaS subscription model. It's got a free version where I can upload a 3D model to use for generation scale. So let's see what it does. It created this cute pterosaur, but the interface is pretty slow, so it's pretty cute, and I think I'll name him Swamp. Deep AI is pretty basic. The blue donkey that I'll generate here, well, it looks like a blue donkey. I also generated this picture of an egg and this red crocodile here. You can definitely make some funny 3D models with this model generator. So let's jump back to Meshy again. Here is Muse Bandit from Chapter 4 of Toma Mimics. He scraps with Zephyr a bit, but spoiler alert, now he's dead. But I was able to revive him pretty good here in Meshy, and this is what it looks like in Deep AI. So by far, this was the best output from Deep AI. Now Alpha 3D, so it had a pretty simple interface, and I started with a low poly bison skull, so let's generate that now. It turned out like it's a skull, and in order to download the model, you need to use 500 of your tokens, which is enough for the free version, so I just made these other models with Alpha 3D. Oh, and there's one more for Deep AI just for you. That I kind of enjoyed Deep AI's model creation. Back in Meshy, I'm trying image to 3D again to see if I can create Zephyr for my book series, Hymns of the Last Seed, into a 3D model from an image of him I generated using ChatGPT. It turned out okay, but Meshy has this rigging feature I want to try, so I'm going to try again. Yeah, okay, that's more like it. This is great other than no eyes. And maybe let's texture it and see what we got. Okay, so yeah, this is what the model ends up looking like textured, which is absolutely fantastic. It didn't get the eyes, but it did put one on top. So I don't know, who cares? I love Zephyr. He actually looks so slick and clean in this. And so let's jump in and rig him. This program made it like so easy. You just literally click next. You make sure he's in the center. You add the joint nodes. And off you go. And just like that, boom, there we go. Zephyr's walking in the animation portal here, and it looks slick. It was excellent. Here he is running. This is perfect. I'll be for sure using this for a very specific sprinting project I've been working on. And this is just going to show like how far AI 3D has come. It is so slick, as you can see from this animation here. And here is Zephyr talking and walking, and this ought to be almost as good as it gets. It's perfect. He's moving his talons, his arms. He's walking around as if he's engaging in a dialogue. Oh, okay, no wait. He's doing kung fu, so it literally got better. This is the best possible outcome I've ever seen with an AI model generation and animation. I cannot wait to implement this into my next project. I really enjoyed this one, so I figured let's try again with another character. I call this one Zek. He turned out pretty good. He's a Arctic adventurer weasel. This is just from an image, by the way, which was generated in ChatGPT. He has a small disfigurement on his face from the texturing, and his walking animation is all right. The tail moves statically, but it's perfectly imperfect. It still moves with the leg, and it would do great for just having him be able to walk around a scene. Luma Labs AI, their model Genie is by far my favorite 3D generation model. You can create anything you want with text to 3D, and it's really good, and it creates some really nice high resolution models. I've made a ton of models in Luma, and so can you. Here I made Zephyr. Again, it turned out a little weird. But that's AI generation. It's perfectly imperfect. It doesn't. I think it captures kind of the essence of what you're going for, but it always has like a little bit of an aspect of unknown, as it could end up being anything. I love how you can create characters, objects, tokens, anything with Genie. It just makes level design and prototyping so much faster. I went ahead and made models for every 150 Pokemon in the Kanto region because, yeah, I do that sort of thing. The trick here was to call it Pokemon Humanoid, and that gave me the best results. So humanoids also work incredibly well for animation. So, and Genie is super great, and it's absolutely free to use, so you can generate any models for your projects. Okay, so let's download a few of these and upload them into Meshy and see what we got. This is like by far my favorite thing that I discovered, so stay tuned for the coolest part of this whole video. I uploaded this model from Genie into Meshy. I also uploaded a few more. And here's another one of the Genie models. They turn out really well in here. They do lose their texture, and which is actually all right. It kind of reminds me that you maybe don't really need that. In order to rig them, you texture them, which takes a bit of time, but it's worth the wait. And so I'm gonna try this with a Zephyr model that I made myself. So I jumped over to Blender and I grabbed my Zephyr model and I pop them into Meshy. It looks really good, but it does lose the texture. So it looks like we're going to need to do that. So texture time. So the textures are just on the right side here, and it only costs, well, 0 tokens, I guess, to create it. Oh, so I used an image of Zephyr, and it kind of gave me this chromatic Zephyr. Yeah, he's chromatic as fuck, but let's rig him up. Not really what I've expected, but maybe that's what I get for using an image as a texture. He has a lot of shine, that's for sure. So this is the thing, there's so many chances to get different versions of the same character using these methods because no generation is the same. Okay, this is why I said stay tuned, because this monster turned out absolutely insane. It's so purple and so clean. It's saying who you calling ugly and everything in between. I'm into it. This monster was perfect for rigging because of the orientation of its limbs. It was just a quick little spin around. I dropped the joints on, and we were off to the races. Bam. All right, so the monster's walking around, and this was just absolutely incredible. This is the combination of Meshy and Genie, and so right there, within a couple seconds, a couple minutes, we have a walking 3D homunculus, textured and animated. Here is our monster fighting, which is like just incredible. Right away, we can swing, backhand, and has the stance. This is just perfect. I'm incredibly impressed with Meshy and Genie. By far the best text to 3D is Genie, and Meshy's image to 3D and rigging and animation features are next level. I cannot wait to apply this to some future creation. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, subscribe for more homunculus AI videos.